I saw a message on my husband Sam's phone. He had booked a luxurious 10-day European tour for the National Day holiday. I smiled. He always enjoyed playing these little mystery surprises. But when the holiday arrived, the surprise never came. He told me he had to go on a business trip. Then, I saw a post from his secretary on her social media, under the Bridge of Sighs in Venice. The kiss you gave was on my lips, but it captured my heart. The accompanying photo was a passionate kiss between Sam and his secretary, Bianca. I saved the photo and sent it to the family group chat. Congratulations. You're getting a new daughter-in-law. Chapter 01. The family group chat exploded as everyone started chiming in. My mother-in-law, Lisa. Is this some kind of misunderstanding? Sam's cousin, wow. My cousin sure knows how to play the game. His aunt quickly tagged the cousin, don't speak nonsense. Child. Sam's younger sister, why does this woman look so familiar? Sam's female cousin, it's probably his secretary, Bianca. Silence fell over the group. A while later, Sam sent a message. Bianca lost a dare and had to post a kissing photo. As her boss, I couldn't let her embarrass herself, so I helped her out. Everyone, let it go. Soon after, Sam called me. Lisa, can you stop acting like a child? How could you post that photo in the family group chat? You know our family is big and very traditional. Grandpa and Grandma are going to be furious. Take it down immediately. I replied calmly. Is the photo something that can't be shown? I think it's quite well shot. And the caption matches perfectly. Sam's tone grew impatient. I already told you it was just a game she lost. Why are you picking a fight with a young girl? I sat up straight and spoke seriously. She kissed my husband. So of course I'm going to take issue with it. If you didn't have such intentions, you wouldn't have allowed this to happen. Sam, I hope you don't make any more mistakes. His tone softened. All right. I'll be more careful next time. When I return from this business trip, I'll bring you a gift. I glanced at the time and asked, when will you be back from your trip? He gave a date. It matched perfectly with the 10-day tour package dates. Sam had finally betrayed our marriage. A few days later, Sam returned, and I went to the airport to pick him up. Not because I was clingy, but because today was a family gathering, and we had to appear as a couple. Sam came out pushing a luggage cart, followed by a meek-looking Bianca. When she saw me, Bianca hesitated and stepped back timidly. Madam. Sam gently wrapped an arm around me and kissed my cheek. Honey, thank you for coming. His breath carried a faint trace of another woman's perfume, likely from a recent kiss. I turned my head away and noticed a faint red mark on his collar. I didn't say a word. Sam looked perfectly composed. Honey, let's drop Bianca off first. Then we'll head home together. He opened the front passenger door, explaining that Bianca gets carsick. Bianca glanced at me cautiously. Boss, maybe I should just take a cab. Sam held my hand firmly, speaking with authority. It's dangerous for a young girl to be out alone at night. Dropping you off is on the way. On the way? 10 extra kilometers. Sure, let's call it on the way. Through the rearview mirror, Bianca and I exchanged a glance, daggers drawn, loaded with unspoken understanding and a woman's intuition. I lowered my gaze and asked softly, was it just the two of you on this business trip? Sam replied nonchalantly, no. Other colleagues took different flights. Before getting out, Bianca handed me a box, tilting her head slightly. Madam, this is a gift I picked out for you. The boss said you like shawls. I hope you like it. I wasn't sure about the color. Sam chuckled. Lisa prefers more mature colors, unlike you young girls who like playful shades. It's perfect. I choked slightly at his comment and sighed. Chapter 02. As soon as the car door closed, I straightened up, putting some distance between Sam and me. He frowned. What's wrong? I handed him a mirror, letting him take a look. He quickly noticed the lipstick stain and frowned before explaining. When we got off the plane, Bianca lost her balance, and I helped her. It must have happened then. I took a deep breath and turned to him, my tone a mix of sadness and something harder to define. Sam, we've been married for 7 years. Before, your secretary never lost her balance and smeared lipstick on you. Since when do they accidentally spray you with perfume or leave marks like this? He stayed silent for a moment before apologizing. All right. I'll be more careful in the future. I swallowed my frustration. Although our marriage had started as a business alliance, We had dated for 2 years before tying the knot. It wasn't without feelings. 7 years of marriage. And now it felt like it was coming to an end. Before we got out of the car to meet his family, he grabbed my arm, his expression serious. "You're mad? Why? Because I didn't spend the holiday with you and went on a business trip with my secretary? When did you become so unreasonable, acting like a spoiled little girl? You know this is a critical time for the company's transformation. I don't have time to guess what's on your mind. I've been overseas for 10 days, working hard. I'm exhausted. You need to act like a proper boss's wife, not someone who wears their emotions on their sleeve." I suddenly lost patience for this charade. Shaking off his hand, I said coldly, "A luxurious 10-day European tour over the National Day holiday? A business trip? Sam, am I the only fool in the world? How sweet was the kiss under the bridge of sighs? Do you like her heart?" I pushed open the car door without looking back. "After tonight's performance as the perfect couple, let's take some time apart to cool off." The family gathering left me utterly drained. Playing the role of the perfect couple was exhausting, physically and emotionally. Back home, I soaked in a bath, put on my pajamas, and began applying body lotion when Sam gently embraced me from behind. He coaxed me softly. "Honey, I was wrong. I won't pay attention to her anymore. If you don't like her, I'll transfer her to a branch office. All right?" I broke free from his embrace. "Sam, don't hug me while carrying another woman's scent and lipstick." But before I could fully escape, he pulled me back again. "I was wrong. Let me shower, okay? You can even peel my skin off if you want." He said this as he leaned in to kiss me, just as I was about to slap him. His phone rang. I glanced at it. The caller ID read, "Little Miss Clumsy." On the other end of the call, Bianca's coy voice trembled with tears. "Boss, what should I do? I brought back the wrong data in the files, and I don't know how to fix it. The contract is being signed tomorrow. What do I do?" Her voice carried a mix of fear and the kind of girlish dependence that seeks to please a superior. Sam frowned and replied, "How could you be so careless? Stay home, and I'll come over right away." After hanging up, he put on his coat and told me, "This contract is critical. I need to oversee it personally. Go to bed and don't wait up for me." With that, he braved the cold wind, forgetting even his scarf, and rushed out the door. I sat silently on the couch and heard my phone buzz. Opening it, I saw Bianca's new post on her social media. "A serious man is the most handsome, whether it's at work or elsewhere." The attached photo showed Sam, under a desk lamp, painting Bianca's nails. The last shred of hope in my heart finally died. I locked the door, put on an eye mask and earplugs, knowing he wouldn't return that night. The next morning, I was having breakfast when the maid asked, "Won't Mr. Sam be eating breakfast?" I set my utensils down and thought for a moment. Don't bother preparing his breakfast anymore. I don't think he'll be eating at home often from now on. I opened my phone and, as expected, saw another post from Bianca. This time, it was a candid photo of Sam sitting at a street-side stall. On the table were 2 bowls and 2 pairs of chopsticks, accompanied by steamed buns and soy milk, steam rising around his face, giving it a hazy glow. Her caption read, "The happiness of earthly life is being together with you." Her endless display of affection was unbearable. Sam? He was notoriously picky with food, lactose intolerant, allergic to peanuts, and prone to stomach issues from unhygienic meals. Our home chef's standards exceeded those of a 5-star restaurant. And yet, he abandoned all that for street food? Truly, love had blinded him. Unable to resist, I gave the post a like. Moments later, the post was deleted. Chapter 03. My prediction quickly came true. Sam ended up in the hospital with severe vomiting and diarrhea. When I arrived, Sam was lying there with his eyes half closed, pale as a sheet, receiving in 4 drip. His secretary was by his side, her eyes red and swollen from crying. She looked 100 times more heartbroken than I. His wife did. Sam was still unconscious when Bianca saw me. She immediately stood up and said softly, "I'm sorry. It's all my fault." I raised a hand to stop her. "Of course it's your fault. His hospitalization is thanks to you. Have you thought about how to explain to his family how you single-handedly managed to land Sam in the hospital?" "Lisa, this has nothing to do with Bianca," Sam said weakly. Just waking up. Bianca rushed to his side, her red eyes making her look like a little rabbit. I really didn't know you couldn't eat street food. Next time, I'll cook for you myself, okay? Sam stopped her. You should go home. You don't need to stay here to take care of me. I stood up from the sofa and stopped Bianca from leaving. No, she should stay. Who could possibly take better care of you than her? I have work to do and no time to sit around in a hospital. Sam hurried to explain. Last night, I stayed up all night fixing the data, and this morning Bianca felt bad and invited me to breakfast. Don't misunderstand. I grabbed my bag and shook my head, cutting him off. Hiring an incompetent secretary is your family's business, not mine. But my husband spent the night fixing data with another woman and then being hospitalized because of the happiness of earthly life. I can't help but be upset. So, I don't want to see you today. Behind me, Bianca's worried voice called out. It's all my fault. Should I go explain to her? Tell her not to be angry, okay? Sam's hoarse voice comforted her. Stop crying. If you keep crying, you'll really look like a little rabbit. That evening, after enduring my mother-in-law's various worries and veiled suggestions, I sighed. It wasn't easy being the daughter-in-law of a wealthy family. Luckily, I wouldn't have to be one for much longer. In the end, I still brought a pot of nourishing soup to the hospital. The door to the VIP room was slightly ajar. Just as I was about to push it open, I heard voices inside. Sam, I kissed you because I truly love you. I don't care that you're married, and I don't need you to marry me. I just want to stay by your side. Please don't transfer me away, okay? Please, don't abandon me. Her fragile, tearful voice was heart-wrenching. Peeking through the gap in the door, I saw Bianca leaning on Sam, her face streaked with tears, gazing up at him as if he were a god. Her face was filled with admiration and worship. She tilted her face up gently, her soft lips pressing against his. Please. Finally, she got a response. What started as a tentative kiss turned into something deeper, a long, intoxicating kiss that consumed them both, leaving them utterly lost in the moment. Clang! The thermos in my hand fell to the ground with a loud crash, startling the two who were passionately kissing inside the room. Seeing me standing at the door, Sam froze, while Bianca, her face flushed red, shrank behind him. Sam ripped the 4-needle from his hand and rushed toward me, trying to explain. I slapped him hard across the face, sending his head snapping to the side. Get away from me! Bianca rushed forward, stepping in front of him. Madam, how could you hit him? It's all my fault. If you need to hit someone, hit me instead. I looked at the two of them, and a wave of nausea surged through me. I didn't want to waste another word. I turned and started to leave. Lisa, it's not what it looks like. Sam called out behind me. I spun around abruptly and stared at him. Not what it looks like? Then what is it? A 5-minute-long passionate kiss? Are you going to tell me it's just a good working relationship? Or that you were comforting a scared little girl? Don't touch me. Sam, you disgust me. I looked at him one last time, my voice cold and resolute. My lawyer will contact you. Sam, I want a divorce. Chapter 04. Sam chased me into the elevator, but I swung my bag at him with all my strength and yelled, Get out! Don't share an elevator with me. Even breathing the same air as you feels filthy. Sam stood at the elevator doors, pale and dumbfounded, watching the doors slowly close. The look of disappointment in my eyes seemed to cut him like a knife. When the elevator reached the ground floor, I saw him again, still wearing his hospital gown and gasping for breath. He had run down the stairs to intercept me at the hospital entrance. Lisa, I'm not divorcing you. Don't say such things out of anger. We can't get divorced. Please, listen to me. I pulled my hand away from his grasp. A misunderstanding? You want me to forgive you? Which part of this do you think you can even justify? Sam, I'm utterly disappointed in you. Sam refused to let go of my hand. No, I admit it, I was wrong. I lost my mind. Maybe I felt stifled. She's young, fresh, and I was momentarily blinded. But Lisa, don't cry. When I saw you just now, I realized that the person I truly love, the only one I love, is you. She means nothing to me. It was just a meaningless fling. I looked at him with cold contempt. A meaningless fling? Sam, Your fling seems endless. Are you an actor now? Why not aim for Best Actor at the next awards ceremony? What are you saying? That it was just a fling between us? Bianca stepped out of the elevator just in time to hear Sam's words. Tears streamed down her face like falling pearls as she stared straight at Sam. So everything you said last night was a lie? When you said you loved me in bed, that was a lie? When you called her boring, that was a lie? When you said you'd divorce her and marry me, that was also a lie? What am I supposed to do now? I love you so much. I can't live without you. I'll die without you. Her tearful, pitiful words filled the air as she broke down sobbing. Sam, torn, didn't even have time to comfort her before I turned to leave. Behind me, there was a commotion. Bianca had collapsed softly to the ground. Bianca! Sam cried out, rushing to catch her in his arms. He glanced back to find me, but by then, I had already opened my car door and driven off without a backward glance. Lisa! Sam shouted after me, but there was no response. My fiery temper is something I inherited from my father, decisive and relentless. When I returned to the home I shared with Sam, I immediately called a professional moving company to pack up and remove all of my belongings. The elderly housekeeper ran around in a panic, calling Sam's phone only to find it switched off. Then, she called my mother-in-law and father-in-law. I ignored their calls and simply sent a video to the family group chat. This time, no one dared to respond. It was a 5-minute high-definition video of Sam and Bianca's passionate kiss. The emotions, language, and intensity of the scene were all perfectly captured, fiery, passionate, and utterly shameless. I added a single line. Doesn't love like this deserve my blessing? Then, I exited the group chat. Starting today, I was no longer part of that family and would have nothing more to do with them. Sam, with his phone off, was blissfully unaware that outside his little love-struck universe, the entire world was exploding. When I got home, my father jumped up, vowing to head to the hospital to break Sam's legs. My brother, with a cold expression, made calls to our partnered companies, declaring that anyone who continued doing business with Sam's family would become our family's adversary. Our family's legal team worked late into the night, calculating the division of marital and premarital assets and drafting the divorce agreement. Meanwhile, Bianca naively posted a new update on her social media. I love watching you wake up next to me in the morning. The photo was of Sam's sleeping face. It was clear they had both slept very well. I gleefully saved the post and forwarded it to my lawyer. The best thing about young, naive girls is their honesty about love. They love to flaunt it. Every little thing ends up on social media, making evidence gathering almost too easy. Sam might refuse the divorce, but it was no longer up to him. The separation of the two families' business partnership was already underway, with my father and my father-in-law negotiating the details. Dividing the interests of two major corporations wasn't a trivial matter. Chapter 05. After Sam was discharged from the hospital, he came to my house every day trying to see me, only to be turned away by my brother each time. He wasn't even allowed past the door. Yet, he persisted, showing up rain or shine. One day, my mom, unable to bear it any longer, looked at him with disappointment and said, "You say you love Lisa, yet you fool around and betray her. If you don't love Lisa, why are you doing all this now? What's the point of all this?" He knelt before her, pleading, "Mom, please let me see Lisa. I truly love her. I've been foolish, making mistake after mistake. Please let me see her. She can't deny me even one chance to make things right. I'll explain everything to her." My mom sighed and shook her head. "Go home, Sam. Lisa said she won't see you unless you sign the divorce papers." No matter how long he knelt outside our house, it was useless. I wasn't even home. I had taken off on a spontaneous trip with my best friend. As we traveled, my best friend tilted her head, looking at me with a teasing smile. "You've been cooped up at home for so long after getting married. You've forgotten how exciting the world is outside." We visited Jade Dragon Snow Mountain to see the snow, Shangri-La, and Qinghai Lake. The breathtaking scenery swept away all the gloom in my heart, leaving only good vibes. All the answers were out there on the road, and freedom was in the wind. I was determined never to be a fool for love again. During this time, Bianca began openly appearing as Sam's girlfriend. Friends sent me screenshots of her social media posts, which often featured her and Sam together. I found it amusing. Has Sam's brain been eaten by a dog? On the one hand, he refused to sign the divorce papers, while on the other, he flaunted his mistress everywhere. Was he afraid people wouldn't know about his affair? When I returned to Haiching 2 months later, I was greeted by an unexpected sight at the airport, Sam holding a bouquet of flowers. Waiting for me, he approached with a gentle expression. Honey. I took a step back and stared at him coldly. There's no need for this. Sam, why haven't you signed the divorce papers after 2 months? Aren't you having a great time parading around with your mistress? Why drag me along? Why not let us both move on? Sam's eyes flickered with guilt, and he seemed remorseful. We've been married for so many years. Don't you have any sentiment left for us? I really need you. I laughed. You don't need me. What you need is a proper wife to give you status and face. And that position? I'm tired of playing it. What he truly valued was my role, one that elevated his family's status and polished his image in social circles. Where else could he find a wife like me? If I hadn't been taken in by his looks back then, I wouldn't have fallen for this scam. The girls he had now were good for fun, but what else could they offer? I pushed my luggage past him and walked away without looking back, indifferent to the unpleasant expression on his face. The next day, Bianca sought me out, asking to meet. I didn't need to guess her intentions. It was the usual plea to hurry up and divorce Sam. Still, I agreed to meet her. Before she could even start, I raised a hand to stop her. I wanted divorce from Sam more than you could imagine, so you'd better figure out how to get him to sign the papers. Otherwise, how will you ever become Mrs. Sam? Using someone's own path to block their way. My words left Bianca speechless for a long time. She bit her lip, twisting her fingers nervously, and finally summoned the courage to speak. I know you're going to divorce him. I'm not here about that. I came because Sam has another woman now. What? I froze, then burst into laughter. And? Why are you telling me? Do you expect me to help you fight off the new mistress? Don't worry, you're already insignificant to me, let alone the 4th or 5th mistress. To me, all of you are cut from the same cloth. None of you matter. I leaned in closer, my tone icy. Let me be honest, to him. You're worth nothing. You don't understand the life of wealthy families. They only marry women of equal status. Do you think the story of Cinderella will happen to you? Don't kid yourself, little girl. Being too naive only makes you look foolish. A wealthy family will never accept someone like you as a daughter-in-law. No background, no status, just a mistress trying to climb up. You have nothing to offer. Bianca, on the verge of collapse, screamed, but I'm pregnant with Sam's child. And yet, I haven't seen him in a week. I looked through his phone and found out he's been with another woman. He loves her now, tears streaming down her face. She sobbed with frustration. What am I supposed to do? I can't find him anywhere. I have nothing but him. She glanced at me, her face filled with suspicion and disbelief. It must have been you. You sent someone to seduce Sam, didn't you? How could you be so cruel? You couldn't win him back. So you resorted to this to disgust me? Her accusing gaze met my cold stare. Are you out of your mind? I snapped, but my indifference only convinced her further. Pointing at me in anger, she shouted, Fine. Lisa, I'll tell you this, if I suffer, you and that seductress won't have it easy either. As if she wasn't a seductress herself. I was too tired to entertain her nonsense any longer. Standing up, I said, whatever happens between you and Sam is none of my business. Unlike you, I have better things to do. Don't bother me again. With that, I turned and walked away. Chapter 06. I underestimated Bianca. She hired someone to follow and secretly photograph Sam and the other woman. Discovering that the girl was a college student, Bianca found out the girl's school and major, then posted all the intimate photos of her and Sam on the university's official forum, demanding an explanation. A university student seducing a married man was behavior deemed despicable. The girl was summoned by the school administration for a meeting. They demanded she immediately stop her immoral actions and issue a public apology. The girl refused. Having secured a connection with Sam, she wasn't about to let it go easily. As a result, to quell the scandal, the school decided to expel her. Sam's call came to my house. On the phone, he sighed. Lisa, I've told you before, if you give me another chance, we can start over. I'll end all these relationships. But if you're not willing to give me that chance, why would you target a young girl like this? Zoe is only 20 years old. She doesn't understand anything. I felt the blood rush to my head and nearly exploded in rage. Sam, let me make this clear. When I said I found you disgusting, I meant that even hearing your name makes me sick. Do you think I would still care about your affairs? Or bother interfering with your mistresses? You're giving yourself way too much credit. And let me remind you, my lawyer has already collected all the evidence of your infidelity. If you still refuse to sign the divorce papers, don't blame me for demanding even more in court. Are you prepared to walk away with nothing? In the end, Sam signed the divorce agreement. A month later, we were officially divorced. When it was all done, Sam looked at me, his expression a mix of regret and emotions he couldn't put into words. Finally, he smiled faintly and said, "Can I drive you home one last time, like we used to when we were dating?" I took a step back and shook my head. Sam, I used to like you a lot. I even thought we'd grow old together. But here we are, since we're divorced now. Let's leave it at that. There's no need to keep dragging this on. Take care of yourself. I didn't know if he understood my meaning. He surrounded himself with an endless parade of women, convinced he could navigate the flowers without ever getting stung. But what he didn't realize was that some beautiful flowers are poisonous. Sure enough, when Bianca found out about the divorce, she began pressuring Sam to marry her. But how could Sam marry her? She was good enough to play around with. But the position of Mrs. Sam was reserved for a proper society lady. Bianca finally understood what I had meant. Soon after, Bianca, now visibly pregnant, showed up at the press conference for Sam's family company's 30th anniversary celebration. Standing behind the reporters, she grabbed a microphone and asked loudly, "I want to ask the boss, are you planning to take responsibility for the child in your girlfriend's belly?" Her question silenced the room. All eyes turned to her, and every camera focused on her face and her belly. Sam's father's face turned as dark as thunderclouds. While Sam froze, unable to respond, the reporters swarmed forward, bombarding him with questions. "Mr. Sam, what is your relationship with this woman? We've heard she used to be your secretary. Did your relationship begin after your divorce? Miss, are you a mistress trying to move up? How far along is your pregnancy?" One experienced mother among the reporters asked pointedly. "Miss, your belly looks 4 or 5 months along. Sam's divorce was finalized less than a month ago. Were you involved while he was still married? Mr. Sam, was your divorce caused by this woman?" The company's PR team quickly stepped in to contain the situation. Finally regaining his composure, Sam responded, "Of course. I will take responsibility. I'm just waiting for the right moment to plan a proposal. When there's good news, I'll be sure to share it with everyone." Chapter 07. The company's anniversary press conference was broadcast live, and it essentially confirmed to the public that Sam's divorce stemmed from his infidelity. In previous years, the company's stock would always be sore after the anniversary event. This year, however, due to Sam's scandal, the stock plummeted, hitting the limit down for an entire week and cutting the company's assets in half. The family elders were furious. It was said that Sam knelt in front of the ancestral altar for an entire day as punishment. Meanwhile, Bianca moved into Sam's house. Although there was no wedding, it was enough for her to feel triumphant. After the embarrassment of the press conference, Sam seemed to give up entirely. Adopting a devil-may-care attitude, he openly began switching female companions daily. Bianca might have moved into Sam's house, but she didn't realize that Sam had many homes. It wasn't uncommon for her to go an entire week without seeing him. Moreover, she forgot that she wasn't the only woman in Sam's life. At my family's annual gala, attended by all of Haiching's elites, Sam showed up with Zoe by his side. When Sam saw me walk in with a male companion, his face froze for a moment. He approached us and greeted me tentatively. "Lisa, who is this?" I smiled slightly, holding my companion's arm as I said, "This is my boyfriend, Eric. He's not from this circle, so you might not have much to talk about. Excuse us." With that, I led Eric away. Sam stepped forward to block us. "When did you two meet? Did you go on that trip with him? Was it because of him that you rushed to get divorced? Eric, ever the gentleman, responded calmly and kindly. Mr. Sam, I only started pursuing Lisa a month ago. Thankfully, fate was kind to us, and we fell in love at first sight. I'm lucky she agreed to be my girlfriend. I think you're overthinking things. I laughed and added, Mr. Sam, your mind is as complicated as your life. Look, here comes the tigress from your house. Sure enough, Bianca, heavily pregnant, came storming over from afar. Holding a glass of wine, she hurled it at Zoe and yelled, You shameless vixen! How dare you seduce my husband? Zoe, who had been expelled from her university and now lived in a house Sam had bought her, was obedient and quiet. She never demanded status, which only made Sam like her more. Seeing Bianca's aggressive behavior, Sam shielded Zoe and dodged the wine, grabbing Bianca's hand to stop her from striking. What are you trying to do? He demanded. Zoe cowered behind him, her voice trembling with fear. Sam, I'm scared. Last time, she ruined my education. Now she's trying to hit me. If you weren't here, I don't know what I would have done. Bianca pointed at Zoe and yelled, Stop pretending to be an innocent flower. I've used all your tricks before. You're not even qualified to play these games with me. Turning to Sam, she started crying, her tears flowing pitifully like a delicate flower in the rain. Husband, I'm about to give birth to your child, and there's no one at home to help me. Do you want me to die along with the baby? Sam frowned, clearly annoyed. The servants and housekeepers all left because of your unreasonable demands. You drove them all away, and now you're complaining that you're alone? Just stay by yourself. Since moving into Sam's house, Bianca had been bossy and demanding, nitpicking everything the staff did. She constantly complained that things weren't suitable for pregnant women and made them redo tasks, driving the entire household staff to the point where they all quit. Bianca's eyes turned red with anger. Clutching her belly, she shouted, When you were wooing me, everything I said was right. Now, everything I say is unreasonable. The truth is you're just bored of me, annoyed by my pregnant body, and disgusted with me. From behind Sam, Zoe peeked out and smirked ever so slightly, a subtle look of provocation crossing her face as she said, If you know that, why do you still cling to him? Bianca stepped forward, about to lash out, when suddenly she winced in pain, clutching her belly and bending over. Sam, my stomach hurts, she cried. I pointed to the ground and exclaimed, Oh no, Bianca's water just broke. Call an ambulance. Sure enough, a puddle had formed under Bianca's feet. She had gone into labor prematurely, her water breaking on the spot. Chapter 08. Fortunately, the hotel was well equipped, and their medical staff arrived promptly to assist Bianca while an ambulance was called. At the hospital, Bianca gave birth prematurely to Sam's first son. The events of the gala caused a huge stir. Word spread that Sam's family sent a butler and a nanny to the hospital with nourishing soup to take care of Bianca. They also took the baby back home, telling her, The young master needs to be brought home to pay respects to the ancestors. Bianca was overjoyed. Her child being accepted by Sam's family meant she was also being acknowledged. But her happiness didn't last long. Sam never showed up, and after the baby was taken away, he wasn't brought back. No one from Sam's family returned either. Bianca finally realized she had been abandoned. She wanted to call the police, but they told her that it was normal for the father and grandparents to take the child. It was considered a family dispute, and they could only mediate. Ultimately, it would be up to them to negotiate. Having just given birth, Bianca was deeply shaken by the situation and became hysterical. The doctor diagnosed her with postpartum depression and advised against any further emotional shocks. After being discharged, Bianca quietly returned to Sam's house. She didn't cause any trouble. Sam's family didn't mistreat her, continuing to provide staff to serve her. They told her that as long as she behaved and didn't make a fuss, she could continue to live comfortably. On the baby's 1-month celebration, Sam's family hosted a grand banquet at their ancestral home. The food, chefs, and staff were all provided by a high-end catering service. Even though Sam and I were divorced, my company still had some lingering business ties with his family. To maintain appearances, I accompanied my brother to the banquet, Everything was going well until someone asked, "Where's your precious grandson? Why don't you bring him out for us to see?" Sam's mother was about to call the nanny when the nanny ran out in a panic, shouting, "Madam, something's wrong. The baby is gone." Sam's mother froze, her face pale with fear. No one has left the house. How could he disappear? He's only a month old. He couldn't have just run off by himself. Suddenly, someone screamed from the courtyard, pointing at the rooftop. "There's someone up there holding the baby. They're going to jump." It was Bianca. She had disguised herself in a staff uniform, sneaked in, and taken the baby to the roof. People began filming, and I saw Sam rush to the rooftop as well. Sam's voice trembled as he tried to soothe her. "What are you doing? Don't do anything rash. Be good and come down. Tell me what you want, and I'll make it happen. Just put the baby down." Bianca acted as if she couldn't hear him. She held the baby close, humming a lullaby. "Don't be afraid, baby. Mommy is here. Mommy will always be with you." Sam slowly moved closer, his tone soft and coaxing. "Bianca, calm down. Whatever you want, just say it. I can give you anything, but please, put the baby down first." Finally, Bianca looked at him, her expression completely deranged. "Liar, you lied to me. You took away my job, my life, and made me have this child. I've lost my freedom because of you. And you never intended to marry me. Lisa was right. You'll never marry me. You'll only marry someone from a family as powerful as yours. I was just a plaything to you, something to amuse you when you were bored." Her voice grew colder and more desperate. "If I can't have what I want, then you won't get what you want either. You'll never take my son. He's my life, and I'll take him with me, whether it's to heaven or to hell." With that, she jumped off the roof, clutching the baby tightly. Screams erupted from the crowd below. Sam's face turned ashen as he lunged forward, trying to grab her, but it was too late. Bianca and the baby fell straight to the ground, lifeless upon impact. The scene descended into utter chaos. I sighed deeply, feeling sorry for the poor child. Sam's mother clutched her chest and fainted on the spot. Sam rushed downstairs but seemed to slip, tumbling violently down the stairs, suffering multiple fractures. He seemed oblivious to the pain, dragging himself with assistance to the ground floor, staring blankly at Bianca and his 1-month-old child lying lifeless on the ground. His legs suddenly gave out, and he knelt down. "Bianca," he murmured. The tragedy at the 1-month banquet spread quickly throughout Haicheng. Sam's scandal of impregnating his secretary, abandoning her, and refusing to marry her, leading to her postpartum depression and eventual suicide with their child, made him the city's most infamous man. As the scandal spread, the company's stock plummeted again, this time inflicting irreparable damage. Once a top 10 company in Haicheng, it shrank to a shadow of its former self, relegated to the bottom tier. Sam's father, consumed with anger, suffered a stroke. The company was handed over to Sam, but a series of setbacks had already broken him. Later, due to Sam's reckless decisions, combined with corruption in management and severe internal strife, the company faced bankruptcy. My family seized the opportunity to purchase a significant number of shares, catapulting us to become the wealthiest family in Haicheng. The next time I saw Sam was at my engagement party with Eric. He hobbled over on his injured leg and handed me a gift. I looked at him, dressed in a cheap suit, his face haggard and devoid of the charm and sophistication he once had as a playboy. He gently hugged me and said, "Lisa, be happy." Then, turning to Eric, he gave him a long, meaningful look. "Take good care of her. Don't be a fool like me." With that, he turned and left. Eric teased me. "Your ex-husband still seems to have feelings for you." Adjusting the bouquet in my hands, I smiled and said, "Of course, I'm amazing. If you don't watch out, this free little bird might just fly away." Eric clasped my hand tightly and said softly, "I'll never let you go." I held Eric's hand in return, and from that moment on, I was ready to spend the rest of my life by his side, finding solace forever in his embrace.